This show is sponsored by PaidToPlayToday.com. Start living life to the fullest. Get a free basic membership at PaidToPlayToday.com.
Coming at you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. Authentic Entrepreneur, Paid to Play TV today. No, all right, we're gonna try that one again. I know you, so you can't use that one, can you? Okay. Coming at you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. Authentic Entrepreneur, Paid to Play TV, episode 14, personal branding. Now, I don't know if you've seen the Twilight Saga thing going on with your Team Edward, Team Jacob, that whole... I'm Team Silver Bullet, Wooden Stake. Let's get it over already. Garrett J. White.
My name is Garrett J. White, the Authentic Entrepreneur, and welcome to Paid to Play Today TV. All right, so Adam, you had to bring in the entire conversation about Edward and Jacob. For crying out loud, if you weren't one of the men that had to suffer through sitting in a theater full of middle-aged women screaming over a 17-year-old shredded young man who was old enough to be their son, that was exactly my experience. I sat in somebody right behind me, a group of women in their mid-40s, early 50s. That's exactly the conversation. He's so hot, oh my goodness. And her friend elbows her, Sally, he's young enough to be your son. I know, but I can't help it. Oh boy. We're here to talk about personal branding today on Paid to Play Today TV, but we're actually going to shift that conversation a little bit out. I'm sorry to change it up on you here, but we're going to talk about a little bit more into the conversation of marketing. And then next episode, we're going to move a little bit deeper into the personal branding conversation of sales. There are three particular aspects of the conversation today I want to get deep into. And they all came about because of a conversation I had here recently. See if you can't relate. I was sitting with an individual who happened to be involved in the network marketing industry here about a week ago. And as we sat down in conversation, in less than 5 minutes, I knew right where this conversation was going. And I'm not talking about circles and lines. I got no issues with network marketing. I think it's absolutely fantastic and probably is one of the most viable business models for a majority of the population when it comes to entrepreneurship that exists on the planet. But that being said, I want to explain what happened in this situation. I sat down for 90 minutes. During this conversation, I was told why the product itself was the most rock star literally, you could walk on water, levitate, your whole body would change molecular structure, and all of a sudden you were going to be absolutely on fire as a human being, okay? For 90 minutes, this individual pitched me on product and told me why it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then I asked him a very simple question. I said, how are you doing in the business? Did you hear crickets right there? Did you hear some? Because that's about what his experience is right now. And it was interesting because I sat there, I said, my friend, what are your marketing funnels right now? What are your sales funnels? What do they look like? What is the brand that you're personally taking to the marketplace? Because what you've created for yourself is a big dilemma, and that's the simple fact that nobody really gives a rip about your product if they don't know about your product, and good products are a dime a dozen. And mediocre products marketed and sold correctly will produce more profits in your business than an absolutely fantastic product that is product-centric in its nature with no marketing and no sales and or weak in those versions. So my conversation today with you today is going to be focusing on three aspects of that idea of building not a product-centered business, but building a market and sales-driven centered business with a fantastic product. Now, I'm not going to take away from the idea that their product was fantastic. I'm sure it was. And it probably had 732 other oxo amino acid, rotogirder, electron, neutron, super, power me up, increase my testosterone, have better babies. I'm sure all of that was absolutely true. And it was way better than everybody else's product. But the reality is the competing competitors in the market for this person with their juice and what they do right now are annihilating them. And for one simple reason, because they figured out how to shift their business into a market and sales-based business or centered business with an amazing product versus being an amazing product with no marketing and sales systems. You following me? So I'm going to introduce a new thing here. Now, Adam, I don't know if you're ready for this, but you might be ready for this at home. Adam, a little bit slower on the uptake, but let's bring in the handy dandy flip chart. Now, my daughter watches Dora, right? I've got a 3-year-old. Dora the Explorer. If you're not familiar with it, well, don't worry about it. But if you are, you're going to totally get this. Handy dandy notebook. and it's where Dora takes notes and they do these different things. Anyways, we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to bring in my handy dandy notebook. Are you ready? Because I'm not sure if you're ready for the flip chart, because the flip chart's powerful, it's important, and when it comes to getting paid to play, the flip chart actually is, well, everything when it comes to our model on the back end. Are you ready? Here we go. I've drawn up here for our reference 3 points that I want to cover today in our TV show, in our episode. And if you get nothing more from this than just the simple concepts of this, you'll be on your road. But I want to give you some tangible, executable steps when it comes to these three. So here we go. First thing we're going to cover today is it's not about the product, it's about how you communicate the idea of the product. The second idea that we're going to talk about is how to build a market-centered business versus a product-centered business. And the third thing we're going to talk about is the idea of influence versus selling, and that a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Now that kind of rhymed. I'm a poet and I know it, and I got some cool Batman jokes because my son's in town and he's telling me all kinds of funny things these days. You'd be amazed at what kind of jokes 11-year-olds know and what he calls R-rated. He's like, Dad, are you ready for an R-rated picture joke? I looked at my wife and was like, I don't know. Oh, sure, go. Nope, probably wasn't ready for that one. Okay, so I'm gonna start off our first point here. It's not about the product, it's about how you communicate the idea of the product. So I'm gonna come back to this example of this particular distributor for this network marketing company. So as he sat down and he talked with me about it, what he did is he did all the talking. He did all the talking. Number one problem, if you're doing all the talking in your sales conversation, you are screwed. Do you want to know why? Because you don't have a clue what it is the other person wants. In this space, I'm sitting there literally looking at my watch and going, okay, we've been in this conversation now for 80 minutes and I've said 2 minutes of conversation all thus far. Okay, do you hear how much I talk? Like, I'm a talker, which means if you're not a talker, you wouldn't have a chance even to have a conversation except for have somebody just bleed on for 90 minutes about why their product is so amazing and it's going to transform your life. Did not once come to the space of asking me whether or not I needed it, wanted it, had any need for it, or anything in that space of conversation. So when we talk about the product itself is not the revelation nor the revolution in a business. This is hard for you to understand, I get this. Your product doesn't really matter. What matters is what's available for people on the other side of your product. People don't buy I mean, look at it this way. If I come into a situation and I'm trying to lose weight, right? Do I just wake up one morning and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm really, really excited about going online and finding an amazing, just spending $1,000 on the next Roto-Girder, stretch them up, bungee cord, wrap it around my quad and do some abs and not have to actually do anything, no sweating necessary, and I'm going to get wrecked. I'm pumped to go spend $1,000 on that. No way. Somebody wakes up one morning, they look in the mirror like, I'm fat, this sucks. I want to lose some weight because my sex life is going to the crapper because I don't feel attractive. And my wife is like, dude, you're white, you're pasty, you're fat, and you're hairy. I'm not really attracted to you anymore. Sex life on a chart, graph going way down. They buy the supply or the product, not because they're in love with the product, they're in love with what comes what? After the product. The benefits of the product. See, I don't give a rip about your juice. I don't care about your Band-Aid. I don't care about your technology. What I care about is what is the benefit to me on the other side of it. And when you come in a space in which your communication is, the product is for everyone, you're screwed. You want to know why? Because not everyone needs your product. Now you may say, oh, no, everybody in the mall, the whole world needs my product. No, they don't. No, they don't. The simple fact is there is a target group of people who do want your product, and you got two choices. You can chase them or you can let them chase you. We're going to talk about that going into our second one. Are you ready? You ready? Second point. Okay. Second point is market-centered versus product-centered. This entire conversation with this guy was about how the product itself was like the alpha and the omega, the I am that I am. How the entire universe and all of humanity, apes included, that we know, revolve around this product. And some magic berries they found in South America. Now, here's the deal. On this entire circle, it's not true. And I can tell you exactly where people who are in the space of, I am completely passionate about my product, most people I meet in that space are broke. Do you want to know why? Because market-centered organizations produce business. When I ran my first mortgage company, it's called Investment Lending. We moved it to Las Vegas, and I remember we were like, oh, how are we going to get business? Because see, a mortgage company, in order to write mortgages, has to have clients come in, and then we sell. So there's the marketing. We've got to bring people in. Second, we've got to what? We've got to create conditions for them to want to make a choice. We call that sales. And then we've got to move them into fulfillment, which is actually fulfilling on the mortgage. Okay, got it? But in that space, the only thing that keeps this game going, we could have all the greatest systems in the world. I could have sitting, trained, Jedi Knight professionals in the conversation of sales. And if we don't get anybody coming to the business, guess what? We die. We die. We die, meaning there's no money to pay the bills, keep the lights on, and to pay the secretary. We'd have gone bankrupt. We'd have gone under. But we found this little trick, and it was called Valpak coupons. You ever heard of Valpak coupons? Dude, this was like 10 years ago. Valpak coupons were a big deal. Nowadays, I don't know who looks at Valpak because those and phone books just get thrown in the garbage can these days. But the reality was we found these Valpak coupons, and we put this little coupon inside of it, and then all of a sudden we were getting 500 to 600 calls a month looking for business. I had 25 loan officers, and in that space, do the math, 25, 500 loans, we were about a 40% closing ratio from our sales into mortgages, and we averaged about $8,000 per mortgage. You do the math. We were doing well as young pups at the age of 24. Got it? Okay, so here's the game though. What we found there that I wasn't so smart to repeat again was we found a marketing cycle that allowed for clients to come to who? To come to us. Is it a different conversation when I'm chasing? Like imagine, I could go door to door and knock on it. You know people actually do this in the mortgage industry? They go door to door and they knock on doors and they offer up mortgages. I have friends that sell pest control security systems and they figured why not do mortgages? And they did it and they have some success. But is it a little different if you open up your door and somebody's standing there like, hi, would you like a mortgage? Versus opening up a Valpak coupon and you calling them and saying, I'd want a mortgage? Totally, because when they call you, you're an expert. When you knock on their door, you're a crazy person. You got it? Crazy person or expert, your choice. Either they're coming to you or you're going after them. The chick you chase never wants you. It's the one who comes to you. Got it, guys? Now, don't ask my wife that story because she'll tell you all day long that I chased her. That is absolutely true. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. Did I make this clear? Did you get this? The center of your business must be marketing. It must be marketing. If your center of your business is product focused, you're an organization that's going down. Does this mean that your product must be, that it can totally suck? No. Your product has to be fantastic, but if the center drive of your business is not marketing and sales, you will find that your company is going to go under and or you're going to never create the results that you want. Market-centered businesses flourish, product-centered businesses survive. Somebody wanted to argue with me on this point a few days ago when I was bringing it up to them, and I said, they gave me an example of Apple. I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Do you really think Apple is not a product-centered business? The products sit on the periphery. Apple is a concept. It's a philosophy of life, which is we ride, we wear Chuck Taylor All-Stars and tennis shoes or T-shirts and jeans and screw you, mom and dad. That's like the entire culture of Apple. They sell a vision. And last time I checked, they don't do too shabby a job at advertising. They kind of market everywhere. How about Verizon? Same deal. They per capita spend more money on their, they're not a cell phone company, they're a marketing genius company. The center of Verizon is marketing. The center of Apple is marketing. The center of Coca-Cola is what? Coke? No, marketing. All right, I'm not going any further on that. Point 3. A man convinced his will is still of the same opinion still. Here's the deal. I've gotten involved in a couple of network marketing companies over the years. I bought their products, right? Because here's kind of what went down. I sat down with somebody who I was really good friends with. They were getting involved in their industry. They didn't ask me any questions. They talk. And I said, okay, cool. Now I've done this outside of network marketing too with other products. I kind of buy the product under coercion. Meaning I'm like, dude, if I can buy this product, get this person off my back, it's like worth it to me to just spend $150 and be done with them. So I spend the $150, I buy the product, and or I find myself in a position in which I make a choice. I'll give you another example with this. There was an opportunity to make an investment here a number of years ago. I made the investment, lost an incredible amount of money, but that's another part of the story. Let's come to the first part. I made the choice and I pulled the trigger. under duress in the moment, meaning a lot of pressure, a lot of manipulation. I knew I was being manipulated. That's the thing. No, a better example. I'm going to share what happened to me in Las Vegas. I was in Las Vegas walking down the aisle, and walking down the hallway at the Las Vegas Fashion Show Mall, right? If you've ever been in Vegas, this big flipping mall down there, it's awesome. I'm walking down the mall, and this exotic girl comes up to me, and she has like these potions and lotions and these fancy things that make you all like sexy. I don't really know how it works. All I know is I walked away from that stand with $1,500 worth of facial cream. And I gave them to my wife. My wife was pissed, and I was sitting here going, what the hell just happened to me? The reality was I still was no more converted to the makeup than I had been before. All I had was buyer's what? Remorse! I was pissed! How did that happen? How did I spend that money? It's absolutely retarded. I cannot believe it. How did I spend this? Of course, my wife is asking the same question. How did you feel that that was actually a good idea? You think I really wanted $1,500 worth of face cream with some minerals from the bottom of the Dead Sea? I mean, come on now. Get focused. Here was the thing, though. Even though I made the choice to purchase it, I'm not taking away my accountability of having made the choice. And I'm not necessarily taking away my accountable situation on my side. But what I am saying in that sales cycle, did I refer anyone to her kiosk? No. Actually, what did I tell people? Stay away from the exotic chicks at the mineral kiosks in the mall, because those exotic women have some way of just getting guys to buy crap. And sure enough, when I go to Vegas, every single time I walk by the kiosk, they don't have women at those booths, by the way. There are not women there buying mineral masks. It's guys. And at the end of the day, you've got two choices when it comes to your business. You can build and sell your products from a marketing and sales standpoint, and you can coerce people into purchasing products, but they will always have buyer's remorse. And in buyer's remorse, you do not build tribes, you do not buy fanatics, you do not create tribes, you do not create revolution. In the space of creating revolution, in which word of the mouth and affiliate marketing type of opportunities open up for your business, you must build raving fans. That means that when they make the purchase, they're actually more excited after having made the purchase than they did when they made it. If they make the purchase and they have buyer's remorse, they're at a workshop and they run to the back and they pull their credit card out and they swipe it and they buy a bunch of books and CDs and they go home and they're totally regretting it 3 days later, that's not called a tribal revolution. Do you get me? That's not building a tribe. That's building manipulative cash flow. And in that space, you always have to go back because you've got to motivate. It's like you got to constantly go around with an IV, plug people in and give them Red Bull. If you keep doing that, you don't ever build the viral nature of your business, ever. Your business is built on the viral nature of people being raving fans of what you do, which means if I'm having to coerce you or force you to buy my product, and you do, great, congratulations. In the moment I won, but long term I lost. So let's review the 3 points then, okay? 3 points for today that we discussed on this show, and this episode is point number 1. It's not about the product, it's about how you communicate the idea of the product. Your marketing message, your sales copy. If you don't know how to write sales copy, I'm talking about your text. If you don't know how to do video copy online, if you don't know how to present your message, unlike this conversation I had last week, if you don't know how to present your message in a way that's relatable to the benefits of your client, you need to learn how to do that when? Now. Now. I'm going to put some links here at the bottom of this bottom of our video for you to check out some different sales copy professionals as well as video copy stuff so that you can get some access to some really, really hardcore, concrete, free, and for purchase information if you want to take those steps further. So we'll put those links down at the bottom for sales copy and for creating sales videos, okay, in your marketing funnel. Let's move to the second point then. Second point we had in today's show was market-centered versus product-centered. Your product can be awesome. It must be awesome. When you can align these two, a market sales-centered business with your powerful product, you create revolution and raving fans. When you go the other way, with product-centered, you tend to forget all about marketing and sales, and the greatest product in the world hidden in the closet is good to no one. Your product is worthless unless people are consuming it. If they're not consuming your product, you might as well give up on it because your product's not going anywhere. Now, let's go to our third point then that we covered today, and that was a man convinced his will is of the same opinion still. What a show. What a show. 3 powerful points to the conversation of business and the conversation of sales and the conversation of your business. My name is Garrett J. White. I am the Authentic Entrepreneur, and this episode of Paid to Play TV is brought to you by my passion and the revolution of my life we call paidtoplaytoday.com. If you have fun with me here in these webinars, or excuse me, here in this TV show, my mind started going faster than I could think here. Or my mouth could go. If you have fun here in this conversation at paidtoplaytoday.com, you can get a free 30-day membership and come play with me in our live webinars every single Monday, during which time I'm going to take today's little 15-minute tidbit and I'm going to take it into a 1-hour expansion on these 3 principles that will actually be happening the Monday from the time you're watching this show, the time it was broadcast. So check that out at paidtoplaytoday.com. You're going to always be able to get the extended version of what you see here on the TV shows in our webinars that are happening every single week for free. Go to paidtoplaytoday.com today. My name is Garrett J. White. I am the Authentic Entrepreneur. Saying thanks yet again for another episode and being here with us on Pay to Play TV. We'd love your comments down below about these conversations and any other conversations to come. And if you want to be part of our tribe on Facebook, go ahead and join us at paidtoplaytribe.com. This is Garrett J. White, the Authentic Entrepreneur, reminding you to be real, be raw, be relevant, and most importantly, my friends, to be authentic.